Just love the quality here, how cheap it is though. It's for $6. Seems like it's good quality. It's just super relaxing, especially when you're living in a big city like how it is here in Hanoi. People have that option to kind of escape within the city. For $30 a night on the 3rd floor in a semi-quiet area, it's a pretty good price. But so today will be the first full day back here in Vietnam. First time back here in several years, and back here to the north in Hanoi. I arrived into Hanoi around 2 p.m. from Korea. After checking into the hotel and dropping off the bags, I decided there is no better way to start a trip in Vietnam than to take a walk to the nearest cafe. By the way, I am staying near the beautiful lake, but more on that later. Fun fact, majority of the trees in Vietnam are actually numbered. First stop on today's agenda is just to get some coffee at a local cafe, Highlands Coffee, which is obviously one of the most popular cafes in Vietnam. But look at the scenery. Delicious Taiwan. This delicious Taiwanese milk tea. This is a Taiwanese milk tea with coffee jelly. Figured to try the coffee jelly as I don't actually drink coffee anymore, so maybe this will help me recover from the little slight jet lag having here. 3 hours of jet lag. I know 3 hours of jet lag is nothing, but my flight did leave at 2 a.m. to get to Vietnam, which was about a 12-hour journey just to get there, so that's why I was feeling kind of tired. Not too bad. It's pretty good. They have these little banh mi things, basically like a breadstick with a little bit of pate in it, or cheese or chicken. It's always something to hold you over until you get your next meal. That's what we're doing here. Kind of skip breakfast or lunch, a big meal later. So when it comes to Vietnam here, especially here in the north in Hanoi, one thing that I really love is how green the city is. Now, a lot of cities around the world, they're becoming more green, you know, they're trying to offset the emissions and all that, you know, more trees definitely helps filter the air. And one thing you see here in Hanoi is the trees are very old. Actually, probably a lot older than most of the buildings around. And you know, the trees came first, which is nice, so they build around them. And sometimes you will see that the trees actually go through the buildings. Like for instance, as you can see here, they have all of these little pieces of bamboo propped up into the ground, so it adds a nice little aesthetic view to the area. And then of course you can see they're using bamboo actually to help hold the trees up and help them grow straight. So check it out, there's another Highlands Coffee. You know, as I was saying, it's a big coffee chain here in Vietnam. And if you're looking for a place, you know, that is more laid back like this with air conditioning and stuff, it's a good place to get coffee. It's a little bit more expensive than your street coffee like you'll find over here. Always go there because, you know, it's still a lot more affordable than coffee in your own country. Now, as you can see, this is part of the big lake here in Hanoi, Truc Bac area right here. And this is actually where we're staying along this little lake. And it's pretty nice because you get a nice little breeze from this area. So even though it's really hot in the high 80s, you know, closer to 90 right now, especially in October, it feels a lot cooler than that. And now I'll give you a quick little view of where staying during this Hanoi trip. Not the best, but it's something. My girlfriend and I decided to hop in a grab car and head to the other side of the lake to meet with an old friend. We walked around and stopped to grab some lunch at a restaurant. The restaurant can teach you how to cook Vietnamese cuisine. I decided to try some sweet and tangy chicken with rice, as it is a popular item here. Man, was it delicious. Sometimes I just enjoy skipping the spicy food and enjoying a bit of sweet and sour mix. The food was phenomenal, and we moved on to another cafe. Yes, another cafe. Cafes are the perfect place to catch up and just relax. As it was a little warm out during our trip,
I decided to feel refreshed with a beetroot pineapple juice, which was quite interesting. As the sun began to set, we finished up our conversation and headed back towards our accommodation. The lake is a little bit further from the old quarter, but so much more worth the stay as it is a more calm and local feeling area.
As you can see, the sun is setting right now, and we're on the eastern side of the lake here, just kind of having a nice evening sunset walk. As you can see, even on this part of the lake, lots of trees just everywhere, tons of plants. Greenery is just the thing here in Hanoi. They keep greenery everywhere, which is nice, as I've been saying. As you can see, some people just chill out here on the water, fishing and just relaxing. You know what? That's one of the things about Hanoi that I really like, is how people just take in the scenery. You know, you have that option with the lake being here and all the nature, of course, as I've been saying, with these trees. It's just super relaxing, especially when you're living in a big city like how it is here in Hanoi. People have that option to kind of escape within the city. Currently 5:30 in the evening here in Hanoi, walking around the lake here. As you can see, it gets pretty dark pretty early, a little bit darker than I'm used to back home, but it's feeling good, less hot right now. So now that it's almost 6 o'clock in the evening, the first day is almost complete as it's getting dark here. You know, when it gets dark, harder to film on the camera, but man, Vietnam is definitely what I remember. It's a little bit noisy, a little bit chaotic, but it's good, you know, good food. Had a bunch of good food today at different places. Didn't really take out the camera much. So as you can see, we're walking around the lake now, almost getting to the beginning of it where we're staying. And definitely glad that we chose our accommodation here, because it's just nice to be able to walk around it and have scenery and open space rather than walking in crowds of people and traffic and stuff. So this is actually a pretty good area to stay. Good morning from another day here in Hanoi, Vietnam. This is the apartment where I'm staying. This listing we found on booking.com. You know, you can rent through Booking, Airbnb, you just go to the hotel here. There's so many options, but this is what $30 a night looks like. So we'll quickly just run through it real quick. As you can see, you have the bed. It's like a queen size bed. Pretty nice, some detail. You have a TV, a little table you can sit at, eat, do some work. A little vanity if you want to get ready in the morning. We have a nice little balcony. There's like a little couch you can sit on. You have a stovetop with minimal dishes, so you can cook something if you want, probably mostly ramen or something. A refrigerator, and then the bathroom has hot water and everything. There is AC. This apartment is quite old, it seems like. From the pictures it looks very new, but it's definitely kind of old. It is what it is, right? What we're paying for here is actually the view. So as you can see, this is the bottom part of the lake. As you can see, it is actually 9 o'clock in the morning right now, so it's still very early. It is a Thursday right now. It's quiet, but as I said, this is what we're paying for, is the view of the lake. So our view isn't obstructed, it's not another building. And for $30 a night on the 3rd floor in a semi-quiet area, it's a pretty good price, but it might be a little bit higher than it should be, just based on the details and just some things that could be fixed in this apartment. Such as this apartment building has about 5 different units, and I think the higher up you go into the floors, actually the better they get, and maybe the more renovated they are. So this apartment's Wi-Fi doesn't work, so we have to connect to another floor, and it works. The Wi-Fi is still strong enough, so it doesn't really matter, but that was something that was interesting. But I do like just coming out here on the balcony and staring off into the distance and looking at the view.
When in Hanoi, do as a Hanoian would do, get some pho for breakfast. So we headed into the old quarter to spend the day and decided to stop at the spot that sold it for 50,000 dong.
Well, I forgot, in Vietnam, when you order tea, iced tea, it's like flavored water. No sugar, just yellow water. Time for the first taste of pho in Vietnam again. Long time no see. So refreshing. So hot. Oh.
The bowl wasn't super filling, but just perfect to hold you over till the next meal. There is just something about the simplicity of Vietnamese soup. It's so flavorful and perfect for any part of the day, any time of the year.
Just had a quick lunch at some pho spot here in the old quarter. Now, we need to exchange some money instead of just relying on the ATM. And I heard that there's some exchange places over here for a good rate, so let's find out. Well, I was just talking as the camera died, but the street I went to here in the old quarter to get money exchanged, don't know the name of the street, but there's a bunch of exchange places on it. Super honest price. Exchanged $200. Thought it would give me 5.2 million, as that's what the app said. It gave me 5.3. So I think the exchange here is super honest and worth it. So if you're looking to exchange money, you won't have any problem here in Hanoi, Vietnam.
After exchanging some money, we decided just to walk around the edge of the old quarter and then head back towards the accommodation, just sightseeing on the way.
So I was on my way to the apartment where I'm staying here next to the big lake, and I've been needing to get a new phone case. I have an old iPhone. It's still working. I've had it for about 6 years, so I'm not replacing it yet. But the case I had was just crap. And this place behind me, they sold cases, and I was just like, oh, how much for an iPhone 11 case? And he said 150,000, so $6 for a new case. Man, you can't beat that. Just love the quality here, how cheap it is though. Like, it actually looks like a really nice case for $6. Seems like it's good quality, and I'm sure it'll hold up a lot longer than my last case did, as that one only held up for a few months. Alright, today is all about pho. So having a second dish of pho here to close off. What's this, day 2 or day 3? And this one looks pretty good. Going with some brisket this time, at a random restaurant on the second floor, sitting on the balcony, which is pretty nice. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I feel like the bowls of pho up here in the north are a little bit smaller than the south, but still tasty. This one's not salty at all. Need to add a bunch of spice to this. Dipping the donut in my broth. I don't know if it's gonna be any good. Kind of weird. This is like so stale. I don't think I like that. Failure. Wow, just melts in your mouth. Alright, well, that is probably a wrap on the first few days here in Hanoi, Vietnam again. The first time in a couple years. You know, definitely just spent the last 2 days or so, 2.5 days, just getting used to it again, feeling it out, not really pulling out the camera too much. So honestly, I wasn't really sure how this trip is actually gonna go. We're kind of winging the whole entire 2 weeks that we're here in Hanoi. So the first couple days is just a go with the flow. Got to try some different dishes that I haven't had in a while, some for the first time. And yeah, just really getting started. So, you know, one thing I could definitely say is that definitely forgot what visiting Vietnam was like. You know, it is definitely chaotic. There's a lot of people everywhere, so kind of always have to be alert and watching what's going on, that we don't get hit by a motorbike. And you know, crossing the road is a sport in itself, and it's just interesting and good to be back here. And definitely looking forward to checking out some different places, going into the old quarter and visiting that area again. And honestly, the thing I look forward to the most while visiting Vietnam is really the food. So just gonna eat my heart out over the next couple weeks and experience as many local dishes as I can. But that's gonna be it for this quick little vlog, getting back into the flow of things here on the travel to Vietnam. So catch you guys soon in the next video.